It's Radiant's turn to pick. 10 seconds. 5 seconds remaining. It's Radiant's pick.
Earth Shaker.
It can also be Kaka position 4.
Did you say you reckon?
Yeah.
Do you use that word commonly?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's like
5 seconds.
that is such a white trash word.
Thank you.
I reckon that's what I see right here. Tell you what.
Yeah, I do it without that accent though. So it's not, it's actually the accent there that's white trash rather than the word.
Nah, I don't know about that. Reckon, nobody uses it.
I'm pretty sure you can make almost anything sound white trash if you use that accent.
Well, true.
So there you
See
go.
a Bane Elemental.
Wow,
I know
okay,
you're a big fan of this
change
hero.
up. Yeah, I'm a big Bane fan. I've been a big Bane fan for a long time. Unfortunately, he hasn't been very great for a while, simply because the game has become a lot more about team fighting and wave clear. And Bane's wave clear is among the worst in the whole game. It's just flat out terrible. He has one spell that can... Well, you could Fiend's Grip a creep, technically, but...
Yes,
you know.
you could. But you can Nightmare
it's a little
Heroes
better.
next to Outposts, and you can get the Outposts.
Venom.
Yeah, I mean, he has his plays, for sure, but... Yeah, it's...
You know what item is great on him, Cinder? I don't know if you're aware of this, but...
Telescope.
He has a... Sure. Telescope plus the 100 cast range you get from your talent, plus Aether Lens cast range,
and Keen
plus
Optic.
Seer Stone, which we will see this game
Right.
again.
10 seconds.
So
Seer
his
Stone
Fiend's Grip
Bane is
become
pretty
global.
broken. Yeah, it's pretty broken.
5 seconds.
How do you know? You've never seen it.
I'm guessing it's pretty broken. I have not seen it.
The night vision also does help for a hero like that.
True. It's day and night vision, by the way. It's all vision.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't test out our interaction, Cinder. Oh no.
Which one?
I'm so sorry. What we just talked about. The last game. What was it?
Well, we had two things. We had BKB Silver Edge, and then we had...
Well, that one's easy to look up. I can just look that up now, actually. The other one was something with, damn. Somebody in chat will tell us. But I'm not reading chat, so maybe you can do it. But I will look this up.
On second thought, I think you're right that the Silver Edge active cannot be dispelled by anything, but it also cannot be applied on any sort of immunity.
Right. That's why I'm saying, like, if you get broken and then BKB, it's like the BKB doesn't do anything. So it's all about the timing of the BKB.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like we talked about last game, I think you should bot regardless. So, regardless of the interaction. Now, okay, so this IG opener is really good in laning. Bane, obviously a great laner for a while, and I think the single target lockdown is actually very nice against Doom. This seems to be an IG counterpick specifically for this hero, that they have this idea that Bane can be good against Doom. The way Doom plays fights is that he has to kind of run in, find his target, and doom them. And if he's too far ahead of his team, he can get gripped, and it ruins his entire fight. He also should lose in lane to Bane. Bane is too strong. It's just gonna man-fight him. After you trade a little bit, you brain zap, you win the trade, and you keep building up from that. You get team fight, you get single target, both teamfight lockdown and single target lockdown. So this opener from IG is actually kind of nice, and there's a lot of carries that you're still a little bit hesitant to play into Bane, right? Like it's always in the back of your mind
5 seconds.
when you're playing fights that you could get gripped. So I wonder if Alliance will pick a Dispel actually to solve that problem. They could put the Veno 5 again, and they could get Omni or Abaddon for their position 3 and play Doom 4. That would solve Bane, at least. But I don't know if you want
to
that.
solve Bane, huh?
Not necessarily. There's many things you can do, right? But if you're worried about the single target grip being a problem, you could pick Oracle, you could pick Abaddon, Omni. Yeah, there's options. Legion Commander.
5 seconds.
PL would have been... I mean, PL's really
Very good for both
but
teams.
they banned it themselves.
It's better for IG, of course. There's a Shaker, so...
True.
But PL is one of Bane's absolute worst matchups. It's horrible. It for Doom and Veno, so I think it's a good ban overall.
Well, we still have the likes of the Omni Knights, the Abaddons, but I don't know if they're going to be picked this game, Syndrome. They feel like, especially during the minor, those were picked constantly.
Yeah.
Touted, but we're not seeing that today at all so far, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, they just flat out haven't been as popular at the major in general. And that's what can often happen. Like sometimes you come into the major and the stuff at the majors from the minor is just still top tier. And other times there's like select things that will run at the minor that are still considered great, and others just really fall off. Because when the level of play gets upped this much, they might just not turn out to be as good anymore. Or they just get figured out during the week in between, right? You have time to come up with solutions. That might be exactly what's happened. Magnus ban from IG. Could have been a pick for Limp in that mid lane.
It's Dire's turn to pick.
Omni Knight.
And they're going to get the
Omni
Omni.
Okay. Do you prefer Omni on the 3 versus 4? What do you like? Because you have Earthshaker, Omni, and they can both play both.
You
Bane's
put
obviously the 5.
You put Omni 3, you put the Shaker 4, he helps Omni get levels, and then he does something else with his time. This lane is not useful.
10 seconds.
Like, they need to face something really specific to be good.
5 seconds.
But the good thing about Omni is he's very good at holding his own when he gets just level 3. His sustain is very significant. He can play around with the support, move around, and just get experience.
We've seen quite a few games this group stage where Omni just gets left alone in a 1v1 because we get a try-v-try.
Right. Omni's awesome for that too. There's very few matchups that he loses 1v1. Since the introduction of Heavenly Grace, there's even less. Like, he used to struggle against Timber, but then you can just Heavenly Grace off the minus stats, for example. So...
10 seconds.
A Shadow Fiend pick. I wonder what prompted this. Like, it's very clear that Alliance have a plan that's kind of similar to last game, with this mid-game timing around Veno, and this time it's a Doom, not a Brewmaster. But you're giving quite a lot of information with the Shadow Fiend pick. You can now get your counter pick of your choice in mid that even has Omni backup.
Dire should pick.
So, let's see what's gonna be. Gyro for now. Okay, maybe they want more info.
Do you like I keep calling it Eurocopter. Do you like Gyrocopter without an IO? Because so far this group stage is the only time that I've seen it with the IO.
It's okay.
Obviously, IO is like the stronger of the two heroes, but...
It's not nearly what it used to be, which was crazy, but it's still good, I think. It's a solid hero. Good team fight, good laning. You pair it with something like Bane, that's a recipe for a really powerful lane. And I think what IG are also thinking here is, well, if our Omni Knight can be left alone relatively early, our tri-lane is disgustingly powerful. Fissure block, anybody dies. Like, you can't really save these heroes. Veno will die, Doom will die to this overwhelming damage. And it's something Alliance have to consider here. How are you gonna sort out your laning so that you feel like you can come out evenly? There's no really powerful counterpick. There is the Timber. I don't think that really fixes the problem. I think IG can still kill this guy in lane with this trio of heroes. And Timber hates tri-laning. He really needs that 1v1. So he's
it's an interesting
probably
pick.
gonna take
Bane
a 1v1
is obviously
Omni.
Bane is a good hero against Timbersaw.
It is, for sure.
In laning, Gyro is, like, in terms of like carries, is probably the best carry.
It's one of them.
Gyrocopter.
One of them.
Just with all the
absolutely.
magic damage.
Right.
What's the reason for this pick?
They want to put him against Omni, I think. And I think that lane is kind of a draw, honestly. I don't really feel like Timber wins that lane massively compared to what he used to in the past. There's a bit of comfort in there too, and there's the need for a front line, right? Alliance have a Shadow Fiend. You want somebody to go in front, and Doom can't go in front this game, I think. He's gonna get just burst, actually. But Timber won't if he has stacks running. It still takes time to kill. He buys a hood. Suddenly he's really tanky. So I see the logic here. The real question for me is, what do Alliance do if they get the lanes wrong? If Timber somehow ends up playing against 3 heroes in any constellation, how do they fix that problem? Because if you tri-lane a Timber, it really sucks. Like, this hero needs levels. And if you 2v3, you probably lose to these 3 heroes with any 2. So you have to set the lanes up so that you get that Timber versus Omni. It's more or less a given at this point.
It's Radiant's turn to pick.
I got a Queen of Pain of all heroes. A Razor pick.
So that's a side lane counter to both Omni and Gyro. So I see where they're coming from here. Alliance's lineup has no lockdown, Shannon. They have...
Yeah.
They have Infernal Blade as their only stun.
Hey, once you get that Aghanim's on Doom, that's an actual stun.
Yeah. You might have to go the Yule's build on Shadow Fiend, and then rely on the Razor's deal physical. Like, Dota isn't that black and white that you can just be like, okay, no stuns bad, many stuns good. It's not that simple, but I'm struggling to see exactly how Alliance will set up fights on their terms, because their heroes rely on running the enemy team down, right? You have Doom who needs to run heroes down, you have Razor who needs to run heroes down, and guess what you're facing? You're facing Nightmare and Fissure. Running heroes down is not easy at all. And this last pick, Arc Warden, looks really good too. It looks like he'll have a great game.
It feels like a really good game, Arc Warden game, because they don't really have super catch. I mean, Timber saw to some degree, I guess, but nothing that can really bother the Arc Warden that much.
The catch isn't great, and they can't really get in their face.
Yeah. No, that's
safe lane Shadow Fiend? Okay. Surely Nico is playing at mid. I don't think I've seen Nico Baby play mid for this team. Haven't they been like really stable about putting Limp mid and Nico safe lane?
Yeah, that's interesting.
They must be putting Nico mid though. Like it doesn't. That's gonna be interesting to watch. I don't know how good his mid is. Maybe I'm just forgetting something here, but it has generally been.
Where do you want Razor to play? Like, because that feels like the hero that if you're in a tri lane will actually do well.
I think the perfect lanes for Alliance are Timber against Omni, and then Tri versus Tri. That's the best thing that can happen. Because Razor... honestly, I don't even know if they win the Tri lane. I know you have Razor against Gyro, but this Shaker Bane is dangerous. Razor relies on having time to build up his damage, and if you're running at a Gyro with Bane and Shaker hitting you, I don't know. This will be very interesting for me, like on a almost on a theoretical level, what the teams think. Because I'm not sure they're in agreement about how these lanes should go. So they might end up getting the lanes that one team thinks the other one doesn't. Like, sometimes that happens. There's no, like, consensus of, yep, this is best, this is worst.
Thanks.
So let's see. It's a safe lane Shadow Fiend. Oh my god.
I mean, this will be fun to watch. I enjoy... I mean, I haven't seen it from Alliance, but it's not the... I mean, obviously this is more of a mid-hero, but we have seen it before in the safe lane. It's not like the first time ever.
Is this matchup so bad for SF that you need to dodge it? I don't think so. I think Shadow Fiend can lane against Arc. Dude, there's something going on here that I don't know. There's something here. I personally don't like this from Alliance right now, but maybe if they can get... Maybe Shadow Fiend can lane against I don't think he does well. I don't know.
I mean, he's going to get less XP in the safe lane, unless they end up laning in the bottom, which could be the case.
Well, I'm seeing some... There's like 2 people in chat saying they've run Shadow Fiend safe lane before. Alright, I have not seen those games, so my curiosity
Never before in the history of Dota have we seen this.
I am very, very ready to see how this plays out.
But the fact that they have no stuns, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad lineup, like you said, but I think it does mean it's going to be harder to execute in team fights. And
they need to hit some aura timings and push. And I think that's what IG identified. They were like, okay, they don't have lockdown, they don't have catch, they have this mid-game timing where they need to push. Let's pick a mid-hero that can defend and outscale. I think this Arc Warden pick is just extremely good this game. And it's on Alliance to really, like you said, out-execute. Get some tempo going in the game, get towers before the IG lineup really comes together. Kako with the Fisher block top, so Nico will not start in the safety of his tower to begin with. They're blocking this really hard. They want to get it as far down as possible.
How far can you make it? That is the question. Fissure's up in a second. Do you do this again ever? Okay.
That's a yes.
Very nice. Typically you see it once.
Yeah.
And they usually hold their mana, or they'll hold their spell for another time in the lane. But you're right, this is quite deep for sure. Nico Baby will raise. Going for the 2 raises for now. As Fata takes a last hit from him. This was a range creep, so you just need to get that killed one way or the other.
That stack that you place on the enemy hero when you start hitting raise combos is dispellable. So JT with the Heavenly Grace can break the raise combo damage, and that will probably be pretty safe in lane. He obviously also gets some strength, which is nice, helps him CS.
So what do you think of this dual lane? Shadow Fiend, Veno against Earthshaker, Omni. So it's double melee against double range. So you would think, in theory, Alliance have a little bit of an advantage in terms of the harassment.
Especially when SF gets level 3.
These are 2 tanky boys.
SF level 3 is when I start favoring them. The damage becomes too overwhelming, but the thing that this IG lane always has as an option is they can pull the wave, right? Kako is thinking about doing it there. He's not doing it yet, though. But Fata's not going to be able to stop them entirely. Oh, there's some good damage coming out here. Kaka going for the CS.
Up.
Man, he is really taking a beating for that 1 melee creep.
Go Baby with an 8-1 start in the CS department. I mean, that's one thing that can... I don't know, Shadow Fiend's such an interesting hero. We've seen him play mid most of the time. He can come back after a terrible start with the raises. He can actually get solo kills. Actual solo experience he's going to get if Veno just sticks to the lane for a long period of time. Do you expect him to just leave the lane just to let him get this level 3 a little bit faster? I guess not. As Fissure comes out again. Venomancer on the wrong side. Fine. What about these other lanes? We got Fly on the gyrocopter. Looks like he's disrupting this this wave a little bit here from Hanskin. Hanskin's gonna get some nice XP here overall.
Yeah, who's disrupting who?
Yeah, exactly. But he's gonna be there with Timbersaw and the Bane Elemental. Gyrocopter really wants to get some farm here, but he's just getting forced out by these tanky boys. Of course, that is a good deterrent, the Rocket Barrage. It's off to a
casual 500 damage on the Doom.
I mean, the Bane almost has as much CS as the Gyrocopter right now, so he's being zoned out quite nicely. Also, Rocket Barrage again, but takes a Timber Chain. They have very little kill potential. It's really just the Rocket Barrage if you can get a couple good successive uses of that in this bot lane.
You're not killing Timber with 2 heroes. You needed to kill him early on with the Shaker as a trial lane, but now I don't see it happening. 33 needs to mess up badly to get killed. The main thing you want to do as IG in this bottom lane is to make sure you get CS. The pulling from Hanskin before was clearly a problem for Fly, but now he's in a position where he has kind of stabilized the lane positioning enough that he can, hopefully for him, get some creeps.
Yeah, 33 should be fine in this lane. And now Hanskin can actually just rotate around, being annoying garbage here on the Doom. Yeah, Arc Warden with 7-1 CS versus 16-11 for Limp. So Razor having a very... I mean, Razor is just one of those heroes that just wins lanes, especially solo. As the Gale will apply the JT, but JT's relatively tanky. He's going to continue to get right-click down, though. This could be the first blood, and it will. Fata taking it for himself. That is solo XP and gold for him.
500 gold.
Yeah, that's a lot. Fata just going to transition to core.
I don't know if this is the expected outcome of mid. He is lowest net worth in his team. He has literally nothing. Dude, he's getting so owned. Holy shit.
The Arc Warden dies mid.
He'll trade. He'll trade.
Yeah, but the XP goes the way of Razor.
You take that any day of the week as emo, though. You needed that so badly. He had 700 net worth before that kill. So at the very least for him, he trades. But man, he has been owned by
another courier kill. This is the second courier now. Ollie, the Nightmare onto 33, but not a whole lot of follow-up. I mean, a kill potential, like you said, Timbersaw is just a very difficult hero to actually take out, but 3 heroes against 1, if Hanskin's not here, it's possible.
Oh, they're gonna kill Emo again? They are. He's gonna get Gale in mid.
Gale. There's the link.
That's late too.
And that is a very easy kill, in fact. Kaka is just gonna have to
He didn't have mana either.
Bottom lane with that TP. Rocket Barrage now onto Doom. So they can kill him, no doubt about it. It is a level 2 Brain Sap now, level 2 Nightmare as well.
Hanskin's game is pretty shit, so at the very least IG have that going for them. The Doom's game is very weak. Level 2, minute 6. He's gonna find his level 3 now. He has been disruptive and annoying, but it's gonna cost him a lot of potential in his own game. And Timber's game is not great either. Like, look at their net worths. Actually, the Gyro has got a much better time out of this lane.
He's getting chased under tower. Does have a Heavenly Grace applied, but that's 3 raises that have connected. Only has the 2 charges though. A little bit extra time, but we'll get the easy kill for Nico Baby. So he's off to a good start, especially in terms of net worth. Flyfly in the meantime, though, getting chased under his own tower, and that is the power of Scorched Earth. That does just so much damage at this rate. And with the extra regen coming from Devour, just helping you sustain. And the fact that they essentially just buff this hero beyond belief, a lot of these changes that they've made. They will get a counter kill onto the Doom, which will be nice.
Oh, nice deny.
Tower is already dead. It was a deny though, like you said. But level 5 Timbersaw has 3 in reactive armor. It'll be a hard boy to kill right now. So we're gonna see Shrine popped in the top lane.
Limbo's farming a double stack. He's gonna farm a little bit more and then hit back to mid. And this is a bait. So Emo has ult. If Limp comes in here, gets fissured and double fluxed, he can die if he's not next to the creep wave. But it looks like Kaka can't hold that position. He's actually gonna get spotted now by Hanskin, so that's the end of that.
Looks like the Omni Knight gets taken out.
JT is getting... He's actually just getting trashed. I did not think it would be this bad for Omni. I thought with Shaker's help, he could hold his... I wouldn't expect him to win or even draw with Shadowfiend Venno, but I thought he could do better than this. He is struggling badly.
We're gonna have a Nightmare into a TP from Emo. Spark Wraiths are here. This should be enough to take him out. And the last hit will eventually go to a Pons.
To be continued, dude.
What the horse happens now? So, we have 2 Arc Wardens. The entirety of IG is actually here, other than the Omni Knight.
I'm gonna...
Who do we have our bets on?
The kill will go to Gyro. No, wait, he's Rocket Barrage running. Dude, this is hard.
Should be about over now.
So, no, there's a lot of time on it. If you click Gyro, you can see. So it's a fresh one. So it's either Rocket Barrage kills 33 before the attack lands from Arc, or Arc gets the kill.
I mean, he has 26 armor. Will he actually take 44 damage from this right click? I don't think so. Definitely not.
He won't, but there's a Rocket Barrage running. That will easily cut.
Oh,
I
see
think...
what you're saying. Okay.
This is really hard. I think he will die to Flyfly. The barrage will kill him before the attack
That's
reaches.
what I was gonna say too, Cinder, and come on. You can't take my answer. But okay, we'll agree on this. Throw on a random Ollie here. Ollie, with your ridiculous turn rate, can you please just get this last hit? For God's sake. But this will be the first death on the Timbersaw, which is much needed. He does have the Bracer right now. But overall, who would you be favoring in this laning stage? I mean, SF is off to an amazing start. The mid lane was won by Razor, so I guess just based on that alone, Alliance, and they take the tier 1 tower.
Alliance are clearly ahead right now. But I think... I need to see how much this Shadowfiend is going to do out of that safe lane. He basically has mid lane levels, so the safe lane went exceptionally well. And I guess Alliance just identified that, well, this off lane that IG will put is too weak. And they got the right lanes, right? In a way. Like, you had to choose, do you want to enforce the Timber against Omni? or are you going to give Timber a slightly worse game, but then you give your Shadow Fiend your amazing?
I'm gonna go Arc Warden. Arc Warden gets the kill. Damn it!
That was really
At a
close.
last minute inspiration. It will go to Fly though, and I believe that is his second kill. Yep, 2-1 right now. So, despite losing the tower, he's doing okay. I mean, he's the top of net worth on his team, so can never be a bad thing. But Nico Baby in his top, my goodness, those raises are crazy. Does have another raise, but it's the long range version. He's just gonna right click, and oh, he misses it.
JT.
Yeah, JT stutter stepping a little bit, and that ended up working to his advantage. Shrine being popped now from IG. Do they want to smoke? It looks like
they don't want to talk to JT at all, so he's not going to get into the shrine.
There is a ward here, though. They don't do it under the ward. In fact, they don't smoke at all.
Alliance not exactly what's happening right now.
Fly. We'll see Fata. Homing missile coming. Nightmare will set it up. And this, despite seeing everything, he will die. A little surprising there.
I feel like that was
Tactical death.
now. There's something to be said about there's something to be said both for and against dying there. I feel like it was better to not die. I think he could have placed a Plague Ward and backed off, and IG would have done the same thing. They would have seen the Plague Ward, they would be like, oh well, they know we're here, and then they would have backed off. And now you just gave them a kill instead. I don't really think his body there protected Shadow Fiend more than a Plague Ward would have. But maybe he was scared they smoked outside of his ward vision afterwards.
I was gonna say, it would make more sense if you wanted to die to a smoke gank.
Yeah.
They at least expend something in that case, but they just get a freebie. Either way, Nico Baby continuing to lane, but we're going to see another Nightmare into some Spark Wraith action. Enchant Totem. This does require 4 members to take out a lowly Doom, position 4, but they'll take it.
IG are stabilizing though, I would say. See if they can get an outpost. That's the grand prize here.
See if they can actually do anything about this. 10-minute mark has come upon us. Fissure will connect onto Fata.
Oh, the damage.
He's going to connect onto 2. Ollie did get damaged quite a bit by the raises, and looks like JT took that. Spark Wraith.
Oh, that's so big.
Damage, and that's a double kill for Evo, who is now back in the game despite losing that mid lane. They get the outpost top as more Spark Wraiths are placed. And I think that's going to break things up. In terms of the other outposts, it will go to Alliance, so it's a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, it's a huge play from IG. And Alliance can't really be too surprised, right? They kind of knew this was coming, but they were somewhat sticking around. They didn't have the numbers. They need a Timbersaw there if they wanted this fight, or... Yeah, the Doom would not have been useful. He's level 4. Like, he's not strong in this fight. So IG really taking a big moment there. We're talking about like it's a huge deal. It was a trade, right? Like Alliance still got the bottom money down there. That's just the fact that these 2 kills both going the way of Emo, who was really in need of recovery, has put him in a spot where he's still behind the Razor by only 200 gold now, considering how trashed he got in lane. He has half the Razor's CS, and they're even. That's pretty impressive. Yeah.
So looking at Emo's build, by the way, has 3 Wraith Bands right now. Yesterday he went 4 Wraith Bands, which is that... Like, why so many Wraith Bands? I guess since the nerf to Midas, you just don't get Midas on this hero anymore? Or is this just like a place or a preference for him specifically?
Oh, Fata's dying.
He's gonna set this up with a Fissure. That's a double Spark Wraith, and yeah, that's a super easy.
Oh, Limp died in the meantime bottom. He got Fiend's
dies
gripped.
in bottom.
He got gripped from Fog.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, this is actually a wonderful game to play Bane in. You first 2 Bane, and you end up playing against 0 interrupts, except Doom. That is the dream. If he ever sees a grip on the map, he feels so confident he can just go for it, right? Yeah. And that's awesome. To answer your art question, I think Midas is probably in a spot right now where you kind of almost never want to buy it at all. And if you're not doing that, you want other ramp up items on Arc Warden. You have the added benefit of obviously the clone getting all of the benefit from these Wraith Bands too. You're actually, and if you have Midas right now, you're so low impact in fights. But with 3 Wraith Bands and Treads, you see Emo showing up to fights as like level 7 Arc Warden, and he's killing people. That's a very... It's like an adaptation to the meta.
A faster paced Arc Warden.
Yes. It's basically a meta adaptation where you feel like, okay, we can't just AFK farm for 20 minutes with Arc. We need to get involved. How do we do that? And this is a good way of doing it.
the last series, like I said, he did get 4 Wraith Bands, and then I think the reason for that is he knew he was going to get a Vambrace, and of course he did. So that ended up opening a slot for him.
He knew.
3 Wraith Bands, is that not overkill? That seems like a lot.
I think it's
you farm so fast on this hero, especially once you get that Maelstrom. Because you end up selling that thing. As this courier will be taken out. Homing missile applied to Timbersaw. Looks like they just want to do chip damage to this tower, if not just take the whole thing. But 33 has other plans. And will be defending this valiantly. But Emo, like I said, Maelstrom is next on his list.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember what he went in the last game after.
Alliance is going to lose their mid tower too now? Oh, Limp needs to... Yeah, he's getting zoned completely here.
These Spark Wraiths are very strong. Into the Flux, he's all alone, nothing to take it off, but he will take probably 1 more proc of that, but we'll be fine. After that amazing start for Limp, he has fallen off a bit. 47 net worth versus the 5,100 for Arc Warden. I mean, at a certain point, Synderen, you have to expect the Arc Warden to overtake him net worth-wise, right? But it just was a little bit faster than we were expecting.
Yeah, it was these 2 rotations, the 2 kills. The fact that Limp died after he killed the Arc Warden mid was probably the biggest factor. If there was no return kill for Emo there, he would not have made this recovery. He got 600 gold for that kill in mid. Yeah. And it's like, it's a delicate balance where usually you feel happy when you trade kills mid, but you're the one who gets the first one. But that experience advantage you got is not worth 400 gold. So you gotta be really careful when you're destroying your lane to not overextend like Limp did. And then obviously Emo with the great move top that we already talked about for the outpost fight, where he gets 2 kills, just gets him in a great spot again.
Getting friendly with
Fiend's Grip is online again, and you can tell that Ollie really wants to use it. The lack of interrupt like you were talking about. Another courier killed.
Oh,
just par for the course in this patch. It's about average 5 to 6 a game, it feels like. Kind of lost its excitement factor because so many died, right? Yeah,
it did.
Even though in some parts of the game it has a bigger impact than it used to, I feel like. The gold loss and whatnot, but tier 1 tower bot, magnetic field is placed, and this is going to set up a very, very easy tier 1 tower for IG. And this should give Emo his Maelstrom actually, so that's when he starts to really take off in terms of being able to push to his heart's content. I assume after Maelstrom it's probably Boots of Travel and then into Mjolnir.
He might just go straight Mjolnir.
Yeah, could do that too. Homing missile onto Handskin. We'll take a full rocket barrage. JT is here to assist. Get the purification off. And that's a kill.
Bonk. Interesting build from Gyro. I feel like this is
Mask of Madness.
Unusual. Mask of Madness Maelstrom?
Do you like it?
I think you can get away with this stuff when you have Omni. He's counting on probably getting doomed and then just being protected by Omni. Maybe this has shifted a bit with the new Mom being 6 seconds. Maybe it's better on Gyro. So you very quickly get off your flak cannon hits, but then you can still cast your spells after. Because the silence is shorter, that could actually matter.
I mean, this is an amazing... You can disassemble this at any time, right? So this is an amazing disassemble. That's MKB Satanic for late game.
Yep, absolutely.
Pretty value overall. Now we're going to see a Fiend Grip onto Fata, and nobody's really near, so this Rocket Barrage should be enough. Ollie takes the credit, though.
And Fata's pinging out they have vision here, but they actually don't. It's just Vampire Fangs on Gyro.
Yeah. Good item. This is one of my unsung heroes in terms of neutral items, Synderen, especially on the likes of Pangolier. Tasty, tasty delight.
Tasty delight.
Yeah, it is a tasty delight.
Not exactly the words you were expecting for Vampire Fangs, but...
Well, actually it is. Vampires like to suck blood. They enjoy the taste. So it is a tasty delight indeed. It's going to be a smoke. Ollie still has the smoke in his inventory. But we'll finally use it. Kaka has the Blink Dagger. I believe this is the reveal. And if they can get Eco Baby, this is obviously the biggest kill they can find right now. There's a courier just randomly sitting here. Eco Baby. Spider senses are tingling. 33.
They can't kill him.
Excellent kill. He's going to go right into him. They can't kill him, says Cinderwin. Wait, Oh, so don't make me look like an idiot. Oh boy. Echo Slam is popped. 33 very, very low. Omni's gonna pop his ult in tow. Finally, as I predicted, Timbersaw will die in this fight. Very easy kill for them. As Ollie will sacrifice his life for the greater good. We'll get this random courier. No, the courier will actually survive and taunt him on his way out. A 2-for-1. As a Doom is actually applied to Flyfly. He's going to try to deny himself potentially. Nope, Purification comes in, and he will be good to go.
Did Omni just Quelling Blade the tree that he was trying to Timber Chain to? I think he did. That was really clutch from JT.
I love when people do that. Those are high skill plays right there.
Yeah. So when I said Timber can't die, I was like, if he doesn't literally Timber Chain into 4 people that are smoked, right?
Right.
Like that was worst case scenario.
Well, he didn't see them, obviously.
He almost survived, regardless. But yeah, did go down. Had to buy back for that fight, but it's still, if you're Alliance, you're pretty happy with that outcome, though. You got basically jumped by a smoke, and you took an even trade overall. That's not bad at all.
And we're gonna have a lot of TP action here. See if there's actually a team fight gonna occur. Doesn't look like it. Flyfly will get the hell out of dodge, and
he was like, I don't like this, so I will just TP anywhere.
Right.
And you can't stop me, haha.
Emo now has an Imp Claw. Pretty cool item.
Oh, that's nice on Arc Warden.
Yeah, not too shabby. Get that extra little crit action on your Tempest double and whatnot.
24 flat damage. Also good for
He also
farm.
has the Dragon Scale. How impactful is the damage to the tower? I mean, the stats are the bigger thing for this item, obviously, but 12 damage per second. Is that really that much? It's like Ollie is putting himself in a very, very bad position.
Well, it's not just
But
towers, it's also... Oh, Limp got killed again. Shaker Gyro found him in the jungle. It's not just towers, right? It's also heroes. And I'm gonna guess that Dragon Scale stacks from different sources. So if you use it on your one hero and you hit 10 times, like, it's still just a Dragon Scale. But maybe his clone is treated separately? So you can have 2 Dragon Scale effects
thing to test
on the tower? Possibly. I mean, I'll try to pay attention to it. We're gonna see it at some point. If it does stack independently,
I don't know why it would stack. What else stacks like that?
No,
like if you have double
it's just,
Desto, that doesn't stack.
Yeah, I'm not...
I would assume it does not, but who knows with these kind of things. Nico Baby pops the BKB. That looks like it was a fresh one. 10 seconds. Gyrocopter gonna be a little bit sad about this engagement. He gets doomed. JT doesn't really have much to use. He gets his ult off, but no deny. Yeah, waited quite a while. Emo is here to play, though. Gets down to magnetic field, 33. Stuck inside. A nice Requiem forcing everyone back, and a buyback onto Gyrocopter. We'll see if Alliance wants to recalculate if they want to fight in this or not, as he will be TPing very shortly. 33 getting a little bit low. Going on top of Emo. It's going to be close. He does get taken out before the Arc Warden.
Poison Sting!
Arc Warden will survive in the fountain.
He actually needed to TP to live there.
And Gyrocopter's buyback was all for naught, it feels like. Kind of wasted.
Alright, I checked. It doesn't stack. The Dragon Skill.
Okay.
The clone is not treated, or well, it doesn't matter, I guess. If you have 2 in your team as well, on 2 completely different heroes, I think it just refreshes the first one. So clones don't have any benefit out of this, but it's still a great item. It gives 5 armor, it gives obviously, it's always a benefit to have 2 units that have it, right? Because you can hit different heroes, or different, whatever it is in the fight, units, or tower.
Indeed.
It's still nice. And who else would you give it to, right? That's the other thing. There's no better hero for it.
You don't need towers, right?
Alliance
is not available for 15 seconds. I'm not sure if they can disrupt this. We'll see. No. Flyfly gets the Aegis, so maybe that makes up for his buyback to some degree. We'll be going for a Lincoln Sphere. No big surprise with the Doom on the opposing side, of course. Doom is also going for a BKB, but you have to expect the Halberd to come shortly after. Timing, once we get to the later stages of the game. What about this build for Nico, baby? You talked about potentially getting Yules because they don't really have much in the disable. He's not going for that.
Yeah, I obviously changed my perspective when it's a safe lane Shadow Fiend. In my mind, this Razor was gonna play in the safe lane against Omni and Shaker.
Razor did go Yules. So,
yeah, so they did the other way around, basically. And I think this is good on Shadow Fiend. Like, you get right click now. Your Razor's game is not really that good, but you're still gonna struggle against GA. I think that's the problem that Alliance have to address, that this Omni Knight ulti will cause them some trouble. And maybe the dagger is the way to go. You BKB, you blink in your Requiem, and then if you fear the enemies in different directions, maybe you can pick people off, or maybe even burst the Omni, or something like that. You're still playing into Bane, though. It's a dangerous play blinking in.
Can you educate me on the treads, Arc Warden?
Just as a general item, you think you should have gone brown boots and then travels, maybe?
Well, I can't remember the last time I've seen non-boots of travel Arc Warden, because it's just so value.
Just more of a combat approach.
I mean, he was fighting really early, like we talked about.
He's been fighting.
It's interesting.
And as far as farming goes, until you have the travels, it's 2k dead gold, right? The treads will give you more ramp up during the time. And yeah, maybe he will not get travels at all in this game until like 6th slot or something, if he just wants to keep building fighting items and grouping up. There's a lot of good things to be said about travels in a game where the enemy team has like almost no catch though, so maybe he could be a little more efficient with that, but for now it's gonna be Force Staff into Pike.
Yep, and he has a attack range talent at 20, but I think most people go for the Spark Wraith cooldown, since they typically get the 25 talent relating to Spark Wraiths as well.
Yeah.
So we'll end up seeing what he does.
Look at Dyer's bottom tower, Jack.
Fly very close to finishing Lincoln Sphere.
They've got BKB on Razor, so they want a fight to happen, but looks like they're just not in the right place at all. They're also completely separated. They were hoping to find some sort of solo hero, didn't manage, and now it's the smoke the other way. IG, they're protecting Fly. He has Lincoln's, Aegis, and Omni Knight. This guy's not dying. Not twice. Alright, so that's a good Force Staff, but he's still got clip.
Jump in from Kaka. You can see Echo's only on one hero though. Fisher's already been expended, and that is a dead Venomancer right off the bat. Nico Baby pops that BKB, Requiem of Souls to follow. Fly gets used up. So 1-for-1, the Omni Knight did die, and the buyback from the Venomancer has come into play now. And Gyrocraft, you said he can't die twice. We'll put that to the test here. Doom gets taken out thanks to the Rocket Barrage. Timber Saw will be fine thanks to the Timber Chain, and Razor, very fast hero, should be okay. Fly. Oh, the nice initiation back onto the Shadow Fiend. He's getting very low. The buyback onto the Doom now. Shadow Fiend does die. Fly looks to be next. He did die twice. You lied to me, Cinder. His emo is now on the run.
Well,
last remaining member of IG as the stomp comes into play, and that is a big win for Alliance.
Yeah. Most important thing, Hanskin got the Blink Doom on Omni Knight. That is what won that fight. If Omni gets any meaningful spells off, there's no way Alliance run over the fight like they did. But they get the Omni Knight, he does not have buyback, so he can't come back into that fight. Still take it and re-engage. Like, IG were actually staying afloat after they killed the Doom. But then they got over-aggressive and started chasing with their Shaker. They get the Shadow Fiend kill, but it cost them 3 extras, and that is just not worth it at all. Gyro being one of them. Yeah. His death timer's so long from that earlier buyback, too.
He's a very sad boy.
Will break.
But he's still the top net worth on his team, and only about 800 off of the Shadow Fiend, so still a force to be reckoned with. The Razor, like we talked about, did drop off, but Arc Warden has actually been overtaken by the Razor, so not what you would expect to see from a hero that typically just starts to snowball, at least to a degree, once you get the Mjolnir. And typically the Boots of Travel, it kind of helps with that, so you can just push out lane, just get tons of farm, but
yeah, that's a really good thing to think about though, right? Like, his net worth is effective. An Arc Warden at this point that has Midas Travel has like 4k dead gold, almost.
True.
So, if you considered that he would be on 15 or 16k right now, then...
Or
Quiver? What's that?
I'm seeing a lot of Shaker's dead.
He's dead.
Enchanted Quiver has been a very common neutral item in this group stage. More so than I've ever seen before.
That's good on Arc Warden,
always one of those. Yes, I just think it's one of the weaker neutral items in general.
Yeah, but on Arg it sounds really good. If you get 2 hits with that, one on you and one on the clone.
He wants to get Doom off, and he does. It's gonna cost him his life, and they're not really gonna get anything out of it. In the meantime, Ollie taking considerable damage. He heard a Requiem, but ends up canceling it. Another enchanted quiver. What did I just say? It's non-stop.
Well, you called it.
Quivers. Do you like this item?
I don't think it's that good, at least most of the time, but I think it's good on Arc Warden still. Like, he should have it over Wraithband instead of Fly, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
Give that to Arc and let him pop off and fight. So if he and his clone both proc it, he can use it like 3 times on the hero and the clone.
Dire structures are
It's an 8-second cooldown. Does he have CDR talent? He doesn't. He took the attack speed. So
We have Nightmare bottom. Fiend's Grip is available. He's going to use it. Emo TP's in with the Mjolnir Magnetic Field to apply a little bit more. And we'll get it easily. Fly in the meantime, now that they see that Arc Warden has TP and doesn't have Boots of Travel, they're going to go on top of him. This will be a close one. He's attempting to get TP out, but the last race ends up taking down. The Omni ult was just a little bit slow, and now it's completely wasted. He will get out with his life. But that's a pretty significant cooldown now, 140 seconds.
And that was entirely avoidable if he GA'd right away. I think the Gyro would have lived. There is no TP cancels in these 3 heroes on Alliance. They actually could have GA'd, waited for the Requiem, and then TP'd out, I think. But a little bit of a misstep again. And these kills on Gyro are big for Alliance. They need to find these big return kills when they lose their Razor like that. And they got it, so it's pretty even trade overall.
Doom's still working on that BKB, and he might have to hold off a little bit longer, as he will be found. Fissure being used to zone off. A nice Nightmare, keeping Timbersaw in place, but looks like everyone's going to attempt to disengage, other than 33, who really wants more. And this Tempest Double does a lot of damage. Gives a lot of gold as well, which will be picked up by 33. How much is that again, like 300?
I love this combat build. Yeah, I think... Is it 300 money?
Yeah, level 3.
It's level 3, so yeah. I love this combat build from Arc. It's really cool and refreshing to see that the hero isn't being played in the same way as it has forever. And that it can adapt to the version.
Do Radiant want their
Now give him the goddamn quiver, guys. I want to see it.
I'm sure
Dude, it sounds so sick to me. He has an attack range of 765 right now with his pike. You give him that quiver. He hits from like 1.1k range for 2 hits.
Who has it right now?
Gyro. Which is also, I mean, it's also good, right? And then he gets a long range hit, but man, I just want to see it. I can't even say that it's much better that way.
Here comes the call down.
Well, there's the hit.
First thing will connect. First pulse, I should say. Homing missile. He blinks. They see him. And Rocket Barrage is more than enough to take him out.
Well, that's a kind of cool use for the quiver, at least. Being able to hit him from fog so that the call down can land.
What do you mean, so that the call down can land?
Oh, well, actually, yeah, Doom wasn't going to blink there anyway, was he? Probably not.
This Tempest Double is starting to really hurt. MKB is next on the list for our Arc Warden. Limp has that BKB like we saw. We'll be going for Butterfly. Interesting. It will be countered immediately by the MKB. Do you like the Butterfly pickup? Coming? We got the full death talk. Ollie gets initiated on. Very low. Looks like he might live, although 33 is going to continue to pursue as Kaka taking some right-click damage from Fata. And I believe actually the Bane will survive, but Kaka is not going to be so lucky. Gets off the Echo Slam, but really to no avail.
There's some ultis being used in this game that...
Arc Warden continuing to apply some pressure to Timbersaw, but... Actually,
we've had random Echo, random Doom. So a bit of sloppiness going on.
It's fatigue after that 70-minute game.
Maybe they just want to get there again.
I mean, there's something to be said with these 70-minute games and the effect that they can have on players. Even though it was the first game of the day, they should be relatively fresh. If you're Alliance, for example, you could be a little tilted that you lost that game, maybe. You could blame it on RNG. I don't know if that's actually fair for that specific game, because I feel like...
It's not.
IG was in the driver's seat for the most part, and that kind of just tipped them over the edge in some ways. But still, from a player's perspective, you never know what's going through their head. That could be a little bit tilted.
To answer butterfly question for Razor, it's probably, I think from his perspective, it makes a lot of sense why he would think it's the best item in the game to buy. That this MKB from Arc is going to be a problem, but it kind of is the best of both worlds that he could buy against a Gyro Arc core. Getting evasion is EHP.
Would you not rather have a
It gives you some more offensive capability. Be good. The other problem is he's not accounting for the enchanted quiver, right?
There we go again.
No, it's True Strike.
Enchanted quiver. Still, it's not that good.
It's an attack that has True Strike and deals a lot of bonus damage. It kills you in Butterfly. Butterfly is all about the evasion. Like, you don't have health.
What's the cooldown? It is on the Arc Warden, so we will see it. The
8-second cooldown
is 8 seconds. So you're gonna get like
he will do 540 bonus magic damage for free and have True Strike on both hits. I mean, now he also does have MKB, but you get the idea. All right, Nico's in.
Well, they find the real emo, but looks like they might have to settle for Ollie. Does not have a Nightmare up at the moment. Fly. Nice Fissure blocking off 33, but of course he does have the Timber Chain to get away if he really wants. More Spark.
Oh, Nico's in.
The jump in. Omni pops the ult. Arc Warden's in a lot of trouble. Does die, have absolutely no buyback. We'll see if IG actually wants to pursue this or not. BKBs have been popped from both respective teams. 33 getting chased. Homing Missile will end up connecting.
Oh, good Fissure.
Nice Fissure onto 2. That completely blocks off both players. Echo Slam not being used to full effect. The damage does come out, but not really a stun, but it doesn't really matter. The Fissure was beautifully placed, and that is a 3-for-1. Despite having the 5v4 advantage, Alliance ends up losing that fight.
They had to commit so much to get that Arc kill. They had to use Requiem, BKBs, Blinks, the whole package, and the other heroes from IG were very healthy. Like, you get that one kill, but Ollie buys back. Omni had everybody else going with Greaves as well as GA. And they can turn and run them down. And it's just an inherently bad position to fight in for Alliance as well, right? Like, you're really far down. Any buyback can just connect on the Shrine. They got a little overconfident, and that's costly. It's Aegis Cheese. Cheese on Shaker. And he's high level on Shaker, too. 19 right now.
Quite well. The more I think about this battle build from Arc Warden, the more it's making sense, because build from Gyrocopter, because it's like all defensive. He has no like real true damage right now. He goes BKB and Lincoln's, and of course has the Aegis now in tow. Now we'll start to go damage, but Arc Warden has already been doing damage, right? So it's pretty cool. I'm liking it.
Gyro can go for a build like this sometimes when he has another physical core, because your magical damage carries into this portion of the game, and now it's really falling off. So now you need to solve it with a physical. It's not like his physical damage is non-existent either. That's decent.
Ever since Enchanted Quiver has been on Arc Warden, he's 0-1. Just saying, Synderen.
Good point.
Thank you.
Clear correlation there.
I want this item to be good, because I just assumed it was the worst tier 3, or one of them at least. But it's definitely more situational than most of the neutral.
Arcane energy.
But you're right, Arc Warden can definitely
I think he is
better advantage.
quite possibly the best hero in the game to have it on. I can't think of anyone better off the top of my head. So.
IG sporting a 2k network lead, and of course, like you said, have the Aegis. So we'll try to do some damage to this tier 3, if not just
Cheese on Arc Warden. So now you have to choose, do you doom the Arc Warden so you can't cheese, or do you doom the Omni Knight so you can't save? And in either case, because you have no stuns, this cheese will get off, or the Omni Knight spells will get off. Alright, Kaka in a bit of a
jump in.
spot.
Echo Slam is still there. Nico Baby has to pop the BKB into the Requiem. A lot of damage being done to Fly. The Aegis is just down. A beautiful stomp from Hanskin. Gets off the Doom onto the Omni Knight, so no ult from you today, and Fly gets completely decimated as a result. And Kaka and company are just going to try to get the hell out of dodge. They do find a kill on the pesky Doom, but Emo might not be so lucky. Getting slowed next to Chakram. There's the ult and the cheese, like you said. Emo popping it, and 33 will take a lot of damage as a result. Kaka jumps in with the Echo Slam onto 2 heroes. Nico Baby drops to the deck. Limp getting a little bit low. We'll try to chase JT. Is surviving for now. And despite getting the gyro and the Aegis and all the great initiations from Alliance, they're losing this fight. It's a 3-for-1, and now a buyback onto the Timber Saw. See if they can find any more kills. JT extremely low. Limb taking a lot of damage. He's going to use the Yules to decent effect, but he will drop, and Emo is still living. The Solar Crest applied, and he is actually still alive. The Enchanted Quiver keeping him nice and safe. Bane ends up sleeping himself with the Lotus Orb. He might be the casualty here for IG.
Oh, he's
not
fine.
even. What a fight again. This
Awesome
being
fight.
behind.
That was really, really cool fight to watch. There's
That's
so
two
much
fights in a
going
row,
on in
Sinner,
it.
where they're behind in numbers, and they just come back and
Yeah.
just take out Alliance.
They lose that fight if they don't have Aegis. That's for sure. Like, sure, the gyro dies twice, but at least it takes so long that the rest of the team get to regroup and take a better position. And looking back on this fight, you kind of can't start it there as gyro. You can't get jumped this close to the enemy base in this bad of a position. And I really like the call from Alliance to just pounce on that and get the job done on the first kill with their Daedalus and the Razor stealing with Static Link. Well,
Fata.
IG recovered it.
High ground.
Fata's dead again. That's a dieback, is it? No, he has buyback. Fata is rich. Why does he have so much gold?
It was that first blood, man.
Did he get
Snowballs.
Did he get a big kill in that fight?
Not sure.
He has so much gold.
He's 3-7. Not a crazy score.
He just has a lot of gold on him, actually. His net worth is not ridiculous. It's just unused gold. He has 3.3k sitting on his hero right now.
Fortification is activated from Alliance. Razors are back in 8 seconds.
You're not getting more than the
does
tower here,
buyback, like you said.
I think.
Towers. You can just take this and the shrine, and you can go for the next Roche once it's up. They're gonna continue.
Oh, maybe with that
Oh, the Echo Flame onto Shadowfiend.
that's
He's
good.
dead. 100 seconds on the deck. Does have buyback, and Razor, who just respawned, dies immediately. And this is a free racks for IG, as they might take this 2-0 if Alliance is not careful here. 10k advantage for them. And remember, Shadowfiend, even if he buys back, he's lost half his soul, so his damage will be diminished to a great degree. And now a second Rax being attempted from IG. And with this Arc Warden, Magnetic Field really helps out in these situations. The attack speed is crazy. They're going to go on top of the Razor, and that's a dieback on your Razor, ladies and gentlemen. The buybacks come out galore. Doom buys back into the game immediately. Can IG continue the pressure here? Nico, baby, this is get another dieback for him, and that's a double kill for Emo, and this is just out of control as IG take this 2-0. In a matter of 2 minutes, this game just completely ended in favor of IG.
I did not think IG were even going to get the middle lanes. Alliance had 4 heroes alive, Veno had buyback, they had Doom ready in 5 seconds, and then Nico Baby exposes himself, gets fissured and blown up. They have no saves in their lineup, so if he gets caught like that, he can just die. Kaka immediately seeing the opening, getting that kill, and then they kind of just run in one by one and just eventually feed away their base. That was not a coordinated defense from Alliance. And honestly, just not looking as sharp as they looked yesterday. That was against VP. Maybe made them look a little bit better than they are. But this game, I think the draft was weird. I think this base defense is just not good enough. They had some awesome moments in the game too. Let's not forget they had some great fights, given their limitations in the lineup. But man, that hold. If you don't get caught on Shadowfiend right there, you wait for Veno to buy back, and you go in with the Doom. I think you can hold the base. You're still in a bad spot in the game by all means, but it should not just have ended there in 30 seconds. That was